Ladies and gentlemen, the following podcast is set for one episode. Your host from Columbus, Ohio, is Michael Kirk. Welcome to the Outlaw Mudcast. Hello and welcome to the Outlaw Mudcast, your digital audio dirt sheet for all things Super Show. Top story is, of course, Origins Game Fair. As I'm recording this, it's less than an hour after Origins has come to a close. I think what I'll do is I'll go through my general thoughts, talk about some of the things that released, and then go into the events and featured matches. So, it's always great seeing everyone again, and I got to see a bunch of people, some people I didn't expect. Chris Engler, the man behind the Deranged Monarch and King Cardoso, was down. Hollywood made an appearance. Was not expecting to see Hollywood. I don't think I've seen Hollywood since PAX Unplugged. Chris Engler did make it to Grand Gathering, so I saw him there. And then a lot of the people from SRG that you see at all these conventions, they were there, but it's always great to see them, you know. The Brain, Steve Resk, Cheetah, Le Penguin, Griffin Jen were there, Father Light, Ms. Southern Belle, El Gato, Ashley. The Bombada was running all of the draft events. Loudmouth Leo was running all of the tournaments at night. They both performed those tasks well. They ran the tournaments quite well. No real hiccups through the tournaments, except for maybe a couple things I'll bring up later. But for the most part, no real hang-ups. Going into it, based on things they had said, it seemed like it was going to be different. Most years, they just have a space in the gaming hall where they sell product and then run games. This year, it sounded like they were going to have a space in the exhibit hall where they just do sales, and then they would have some tables set aside, but not like a dedicated play space. They actually had a dedicated play space, which they did end up late on Wednesday setting up a booth there and selling some product out of the play space. I don't think they realized that they had dedicated play space, but they did, and they did take advantage of that, which I think helps. Because I can tell you before they set up, it didn't really feel like a normal Origins. You know, there is something to having a space where we all kind of hang out. And I think that helps make the Origins experience pretty good. That's something that we normally don't get at, say, a Gen Con. But we had that here, and I think that helped a lot. There was a difference in product availability between the two spaces. At the gaming hall space, you had all of the brand new box sets. The new old school wave came out. The new stipulation packs you could buy there. The binders for singles were all in the gaming hall. In the exhibit hall space, you also had the new box sets, plus starter sets, plus the singles competitors that came out were there. So the Tartan Terror, the Consigliere, the Zero Win Champ, Franklin Turtle Clark, those were all available for purchase at the exhibit hall booth only. Same with the new Wrestling Revolver competitor, the Death Machine Sami Callihan. They also had extra Crash Jacksons for sale there too. The new Matt Cardona was available for sale at the booth, and I'll come back to that a little later. They were also selling Rummy Gummies and Scallywager there. They had their own signage for Scallywager. Rummy Gummies apparently sold out. Pretty popular game for the Origins crowd. And apparently Scallywager did pretty well too. I have yet to play Rummy Gummies. That's something I will at some point, hopefully, try to play. I have played Scallywager once, but it's been quite a while since I've demoed Scallywager. I want to say it was last year at Origins was when I demoed Scallywager. They had an apparel promo there, a new skill requirement card, Monkey Flip. You had to buy either a t-shirt or a hat. They were only selling the Rolling with Pride t-shirt, and they had a couple different hats. So you were somewhat limited on apparel, but you can get that online. From what I understand, If you buy apparel online, you will be able to get the Monkey Flip promo with a special request. Remember to do that. There was a new entrance card they debuted you could buy. This is one where you're rolling printed skills. I believe you roll 3 printed 5s, 2 7s. Once per match, you would then get to, I want to say, shuffle your hand back into your deck and draw a 7. I only got to see it played one time. It was used in one of the tournaments later this week in the finals, but that was available for sale. The GOAT Brock Smith did debut, but it's mystery box exclusive. I don't know if that's going to change in the future. Right now, though, it is mystery box exclusive. If you're interested in picking any products up, most of these are available on supershowthegame.com, just under the news section. Go in there, buy what you want. The daily promos, and they had 4 daily promos in the exhibit hall only, Thursday through Sunday. You could get those non-logoed. The ones at Origins had the Origins logo on them. The ones on the website, from what I understand, will not have the Origins logo, but they're available at a discount last I looked on supershowthegame.com. The competitors that came out, the new box sets that came out, the stipulation packs, Steel Chain, A Liger's Den, Ring of Fire, the new Old School Wave 2.5, Asia, Bronzeburg, Heartache Kid, Scrapyard Cat, Maul, and Noah the Boa. Those were the 6 box sets that came out. There was also a special guest Friday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., Matt Cardona. Matt Cardona, formerly known as Zack Ryder from WWE, was there signing autographs. He would autograph your Matt Cardona cards. They had both sets available for sale at the booth, the brand new Deathmatch King version and the original Matt Cardona. The new Matt Cardona sets were $30. There was also a Spectacle Is Always Ready. That was $10. And then if you wanted to get things autographed, $10 flat for everything you wanted to get autographed. And then they also did photos. So Matt Cardona posed with photos. Steve Resk posted a lot of the photos he took. People took photos with their own phone, or Steve took photos with your phone, then he took them with his own, put those up. So those are out there. I believe he put those on the SRG Universe Facebook page if you want to look at those. That, from what I saw, ran pretty well too. I was there right as it started. It started a couple minutes after 11, but not more than 5 minutes after 11. The line moved through fairly quickly. I don't think anyone was in danger of not being able, if they got there within the time window, of getting a photo or an autograph. And from what I understand, Matt Cardona, quite receptive to the game, had a lot of questions, quite interested, did demo it. So maybe we'll see some more from the SRG Universe Matt Cardona partnership down the line. Right now, though, what I can say is that it was a good experience. I think the Grand Gathering experience would have been more impressive than the Origins experience. So it's a shame that Matt Cardona was not able to make it to Grand Gathering. But maybe this opens the door for a future Grand Gathering appearance. Who knows? The con itself overall, I did get to check out a couple new games. I did get to play some things I normally don't get to play. One thing that I've talked about in the past regarding the SRG Universe convention experience is that it feels sometimes like they pack as much as possible into every day. There are events every day, almost one right after the other the whole day. So if you want to play Super Show, it's hard to fit other things in. This format, it was literally 2 events Thursday, 2 Friday, 2 Saturday, and then 1 Sunday. Wednesday was open. There were pretty good gaps between the midday event and the evening event. The evening events still ran pretty late. I want to say the Friday and Saturday events both wrapped up around 11 and starting around 6. So still pretty long in that sense. But I felt that there was more time to get out and explore the con for people. So I liked that. That was nice for me. They maybe could have fit one more event in. I think had they realized how much space they had on Wednesday, we could have seen something. The other thing I would say is this. Because Steve Resk was working the exhibit hall and not really the gaming hall, a lot less impromptu events popped off. There were not as many draft events that happened, which I feel like he's probably a big driver of that. So him not being in the gaming area most of the day contributed to a lot less of that going on, because normally you would see more of that at night. I think I've gotten a little off topic here. The Origins experience as a whole. Overall, it was good. There are some games and some vendors that were not there. I was hoping to see. Dragon Shield did not show up. I like picking up the new con exclusive sleeves. They weren't there. A lot of card games that I'd be interested in looking at. Things like Lorcana, Star Wars Unlimited, Universus. Those are some things I like demoing. Nobody was there demoing those this time. Some con exclusive things that in years past might have released at Origins. Some of the vendors that were there were pushing that off until Gen Con. To me, I feel like Origins, while not as big as Gen Con, should be kind of on that same level. That's kind of my feeling on the level of a PAX. So I was kind of disappointed. And the guests, they had celebrity guests at Origins Game Fair. Every time I walked by there were no lines. So almost nobody was showing up to see the celebrity guests. To me, that wasn't a big surprise. They don't usually have that many celebrity guests at Origins, and usually they're more in a gaming genre type guests. I feel like the people they brought in, for the most part, weren't like big names in like the fantasy, sci-fi, gaming type media. So I just don't think there was a lot of interest. And I heard the pricing was high. I heard the cheapest autograph photo combo was $75 for any of the celebrities, which I wasn't interested in any of them, but might be high, especially if people don't get autographs regularly. Overall, I did enjoy the experience. I did get to demo some new things, play with some people I haven't played with in a long time, play against some people that I've never played against. In the tag team tournament, I played with someone I'd never played before, and we did okay. I had some good tournaments. I had some bad tournaments. Didn't win anything. Didn't place too highly. So no repeat Gen Con experience. Looking more and more like that was a fluke. We'll see. But Gen Con coming up. I should be there. I don't know about Southern Fried Gaming Expo. Those are the next two conventions SRG Universe will have a presence at coming up between now and August and the end of August. We'll see what's going on. I'm looking forward to those. I'll be starting to report on those starting next week. Right now, though, let's go ahead and go through the events and featured matches from Origins Game Fair. We'll start Thursday. The Thursday morning event was a draft event. In this draft event, there were 14 players. They had 2 groups, 5 players per group, 1 group, 4 players in the group. For the draft, they gave each group 1 box per player from either the second wave of the old school packs or the newest wave of the old school packs, the 2.5 wave. The way this works is everyone opens up their pack, set aside the competitors and the finishes, sort all the cards 1 through 27, and then people draft 1 pile at a time. So we determine who the first pick is, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth if necessary. First pick drafts a competitor or card pile first. Second pick drafts a card pile, third, fourth, until all of the cards and competitors are drafted. but they draft everything. So if the first person drafts a competitor, everyone else drafts a competitor. The second person drafts, say, card number 1. Everyone else drafts their card number 1, so on and so forth. You can pick the cards or competitors in any order. You could do competitor first. Most people do. There was a draft I was in where someone did card number 14 first, and then I was actually the second pick. I drafted competitor second. Once the draft process was done, each person played the other people in their group. Standard singles rules. One thing of note, in these drafts, if a card says, if this is a blank stipulation, do blank, all of those are in effect. So if a card says, if this is a Ring of Fire match, draw a card, you treat it like a Ring of Fire match for that purpose. It's not a Ring of Fire rules-wise. There are still disqualifications, there are still countouts, but if you hit a card that says, if this is a Ring of Fire, if this is a Steel Cage flip 2, you flip 2. All that's in effect in the draft. The winners of the 3 groups were Chris Engler playing as Bronsberg, Chris Pate playing as Cyclone, and Shauna Ballard playing as Asia. They faced off in a triple threat match, a triad match. The winner, hitting the pin against Chris Engler, was Chris Pate. Chris Pate wins the opening event of Origins Game Fair 2024. As a result, he gets a prize pack, and there's a playmat. Each draft winner will win a playmat. Thursday night, we had the Play Pure event. In the Play Pure event, there were 24 players. They divided them up into 4 groups, 6 players per group. Each player was randomly given one of the 6 old school 2.5 decks and assigned to a group. So when everything was done, each group had 6 members, each with a different competitor. So each group had 1 Asia player, 1 Maul player, 1 Bronsberg player, so on and so forth. Round robin, each person plays the other player in their group. Top record per group advances to the semifinals. The group winners end up being Matt Nealon, who wins his group using the Heartache Kid, Le Penguin, who wins his group with Bronsberg, James Booker, who wins his group with Bronsberg, and Larry Dunn, who wins his group with Bronsberg. Now, a little bit of a controversy here, because, and this is the general consensus from multiple players I talked to coming out of this, Bronsberg is clearly the best competitor of the 6. The Heartache Kid is clearly number 2. I can tell you in my own pod, I went 3-2. The 2 people I lost to were the Bronsberg player and the Heartache Kid player. So I would agree that those are, with the pre-constructed decks they come with, because you're playing a pre-constructed deck built around the competitor you have, those are good decks. They do have an advantage over the others. Now, of course, this is Super Show. It's wrestling cards and dice. The dice are the great equalizer. The dice could adjust things, but right now it looks like for these brand new old school Wave 2.5 packs, there are clear leaders. There are clearly better competitors. There is a pecking order established, which could have an effect that is pretty far-reaching. Because, from what I understand, the plan is to use these decks in events like this. Well, if clearly Bronsberg is dominant, then we might see future sealed events like this, the Bronsberg players winning over and over and over, which is not good for the health of a format like this. Now, this could just be a fluke. We might see in future events it become more balanced, but right now it looks like Bronsberg, clearly the best, Heartache Kid, clearly the second best. The semifinal matchups were Matt Nealon as the Hard-Hit Kid versus Le Penguin as Bronsberg, with Le Penguin winning at crowd meter 0, and James Booker as Bronsberg, with Larry Dunn as Bronsberg, with James Booker winning at crowd meter 1. So all Bronsberg finals. The Hard-Hit Kid match, from what I understand, was very short. And so James Booker and Le Penguin face off. Bronsberg versus Bronsberg. The match goes to crowd meter 1. The winner of the Play Pure event at Origins. And from what I understand, new Play Pure champion El Hombre Cybernetico will be sending the belt to this gentleman, James Booker. Congratulations to James Booker for winning the Play Pure event, becoming the Play Pure champion. While this tournament was going on, we had a couple of featured matches. First, the LFF Trios Championship on the line. The Grump, playing as the higher class, the version featuring the Grump, takes on the SRG Boss, playing as the Ultra Cosmic Crusaders. This match goes to crowd meter 1. At crowd meter 1, the Grump hits a finish, rolls a 31. The SRG Boss concedes the match to the Grump. After the concession, he realizes that because of his gimmick, he actually could have rolled a 31. So, they end up having a rematch. They run it back. This time the rematch goes to crowd meter 4. The winner at crowd meter 4, still champion, the Grump Danny Thunder. So the Grump puts the belt on the line 2 times and twice successfully defends. That was Thursday. Friday, we open with the draft event. 12 players in this draft event. They do 2 groups, 6 players per group. They use grand packs for the draft. Same structure as before. The 2 group winners are Joseph Feeney, who won his group with Uncle Awesome, the brand new Uncle Awesome, and Bob Dunn, who won his group with D2. From what I understand, this match, which went to crowd meter 2, was very lopsided in Bob Dunn's favor. He was doing a lot of damage to his opponent's hand, and he ends up winning at crowd meter 2. He wins the second draft event. He receives the prize pack. Like all the winners received prize packs for winning, and he receives the playmats. Friday afternoon, between the draft event and the Friday night tournament, the tag team tournament, we have an impromptu defense of the Midwest Coast Championship. The challenger, the Great Outdoors, playing as the corrugated cardboard villain. The champion, the Grump, playing as himself. In a standard singles match that doesn't go past crowd meter 0, the winner, new champion, the Great Outdoors. Congratulations to the Great Outdoors for becoming the new champion. After this match, it was announced that the Grump, because of his successful record of defenses before this match, he will be the next contender for the LFF World Heavyweight Championship. Now, this is a little weird because he's currently the Trios champion, and normally they don't like to have double champions. I don't know when this match is going to happen. We'll have to wait and see. I'll talk about who he's facing later. I have not covered the World Heavyweight Championship match yet. We also had a defense of the LFF Underworld Championship. The challenger, Chris Pate with Theo the Greek Neo. He got the shot because his faction won Faction Wars. The champion, Le Penguin with Backpack Man. Standard singles match goes to crowd meter 1. The winner, still champion, Le Penguin. Congratulations to Le Penguin for a successful defense. This brings us to the tag team tournament Friday night. 34 players, so 17 teams. From what I understand, there were 5 bullet rounds. At the end of the bullet rounds, there was one undefeated team, 1-5-0, one 4-1 team, and a number of 3-2 teams. The 3 and 2 teams played off in various combinations. I'm not quite sure how the structure of that went, but here's what I can give you. Here are the final 4 teams in the matchups. First, coming out of the 3 and 2s, we had the Animal Kingdom. The Penguin playing as King of New York, and the Cheetah playing as the Rogue Anthony Gangone. They faced off against the undefeated team. The team of If You Can't Beat Her, Join Her. Split playing as DJ Outlaw, and Yasmin playing as Commissioner Drew Madsen. This match went to crowd meter 4. The winner, still undefeated, If You Can't Beat Her, Join Her. The other top 4 match saw the tag team of the Director of Operations, Dave Marisak, and the Trash Man take on Dangerous Alliance. The Director of Operations was playing as the man from IT. The Trash Man was playing as Random Guy. Chris Pate was playing as Ricky Riot. Sean Loeb was playing as the Meeples Unholy Union. This match goes to crowd meter 2. The winner at crowd meter 2, the 4 and 1 team, Dangerous Alliance. So, Dangerous Alliance, 5 and 1. If You Can't Beat Her, Join Her, 6 and 0. Face off in the finals. For going undefeated, If You Can't Beat Her, Join Her receives the following as the general manager's favor. They get to take the first turn. They could pick one of the 2 of them to take the first turn. So Yasmin takes the first turn. No die roll. She just automatically gets the first turn. This match ends up going to crowd meter 1. The winners, Dangerous Alliance. Congratulations to Dangerous Alliance for winning the Friday Night Origins Tag Team Tournament. Saturday, before the draft, we have a special match, the Origins Underworld Championship. Bob Dunn playing as the Big Shot versus Ravishing Rosie playing as Chamomile Tea. This match does not go past crowd meter 0. The winner becoming the Origins Underworld Champion in 2024, Ravishing Rosie. Congratulations to Ravishing Rosie for becoming champion. Next, we have the draft event for Saturday. 12 players here. 2 groups, 6 players per group. Players drafted from boxes from either the stipulation packs that were released or from the old school Wave 2.5 packs. The 2 group winners were Bob Dunn as the Zookeeper from the Liger's Den pack and Chris Pate as the Heartache Kid from the old school Wave 2.5 packs. The match goes to crowd meter 1. The winner, winning his second draft event of the weekend, Chris Pate. Congratulations to Chris Pate, winning 2 of the draft events and the tag team tournament. Later on, we have the LFF World Heavyweight Championship match. The challenger, Colin Simon, playing as his own competitor, Zombie. The champion, Yasmin, playing as her own competitor, Runtime Terror. This match ends up going to crowd meter 1. From what I understand, Yasmin dominated for most of the match. And at crowd meter 1, she secures the victory. She remains the LFF World Heavyweight Champion. Like I said earlier, the Grump has been named as the next contender. Now, will this match happen in person? I don't know. Yasmin will not be at Gen Con. This is from a discussion I had with her. Yasmin will be at Southern Fried Gaming Expo. So, will the Grump be traveling to Southern Fried Gaming Expo? Will Yasmin get a different challenger at Southern Fried Gaming Expo? Will they try to have the match online before Southern Fried Gaming Expo? All these questions need to be asked. All we know for sure right now, Yasmin is the champion. The Grump has a future shot at the belt. This brings us to the tournament Saturday night for the Origins World Championship. 38 players. 5 bullet rounds. All standard singles matches. There will be stipulations in the top cut. Loudmouth Leo, who's been running these tournaments, announced earlier in the day that the stipulations will be from the stipulation packs that are available for sale at Origins. So, Steel Cage, Steel Chain, Liger's Den, Ring of Fire. After the 5 bullet rounds, there are 3 undefeated players, 3 players that went 5-0. There are 6 that went 4-1. In order to get to a top 4, they divide the 6 4-1 players into 2 groups of 3, and those 3 face each other in a triad match. In the first triad match, we have Ricky Riot playing as himself versus the Grump playing as Matt Cardona, the new version, the Deathmatch King version, versus Daryl Wirtz playing as the mercenary Flip Gordon. In the other triad match, we have Funtime Bob playing as General Lee Wong versus the Director of Operations Dave Marisak playing as the Man from IT versus John Mathis playing as his creation, The End. Because of the time, these matches start at crowd meter 3. And because of some questioning of the general manager of this event, the Grump versus Ricky Riot versus Daryl Wirtz match starts at crowd meter 4. Neither of these matches progress beyond their starting crowd meter. At crowd meter 4, the winner of the first triad match is the Grump, Danny Thunder. In the second, the winner is Funtime Bob. So Funtime Bob faces off against the Grump in a Ring of Fire match. The match goes to crowd meter 1. At crowd meter 1, the Grump hits the submission finish. Funtime Bob kicks out. The submission finish makes the Grump draw his last cards in his deck. So, Funtime Bob, after kicking out, wins the match via special finish. So, Funtime Bob will go into the top 4. Congratulations to Funtime Bob. He faces off against Split playing as Liger. They are playing in a steel cage match. The other top 4 match, James Booker as Macho Manny, the foil version of Macho Manny, versus Uncle Bradley as El Super Hombre. Also a steel cage. The stipulation in the top 4 is steel cage. In the James Booker versus Uncle Bradley match, the winner at crowd meter 1, escaping the cage, James Booker. In the other semifinal match, the winner at crowd meter 0, with a little controversy, is Split. Here's where the controversy is. Both players were going from memory as to how the stipulation worked. At a certain point in the match, Split hits an Apocalypse, clears the field for both players. Split has no playable cards in hand. All of his leads are in the discard pile. And so both players agree that Split escaped the cage and they scoop immediately. Well, they forgot that it's not just that you have no playable cards in hand to escape the cage. You have to have no cards in your deck. And Split had, I believe, 2 cards in his deck. So he wins. Funtime Bob accepts that he won, but they kind of botched the finish there. So, quick reminder, in a steel cage match, it's very similar to a count-out victory. A count-out victory in a standard singles match, at the start of your turn, if you have no cards in your hand and no cards in your deck, you win the match via count-out. That's how a count-out works. In the steel cage special finish to escape the cage, you have to have no cards in deck and no playable cards in hand, and it just happens immediately. It doesn't need to be at the start of a turn. It can be after a turn ends. It can be during the turn roll phase. It can be right after you draw for the turn roll. You could have 1 card left in deck, win the turn roll, draw it, and then if you have no playable cards in your hand, you escape the cage immediately. You don't have to win the turn roll. You don't have to start the turn. So Split goes off, Split playing as Liger, to face James Booker playing as Macho Manny in a Liger's Den match. Funtime Bob is given the option, I believe, to choose the stipulation, and so he picks Liger's Den. And so Split versus James Booker in a Liger's Den match. Whenever you would move a card from the discard pile to another location, you bury the card in the discard pile instead. That's the Liger's Den stipulation. This match goes to Crowd Meter 1. The winner at Crowd Meter 1, going undefeated through the tournament, becoming the Origins World Champion for 2024, Split. Congratulations to Split for winning the big singles convention tournament. There was one other featured match that was going on at the same time as the semifinals of the tournament. The last featured match of the weekend, a match for the Global Championship. The champion, Ms. Southern Belle, playing as Ace Austin. She won the championship in the inaugural tournament at Grand Gathering. She takes on challenger, El Gato Shinobi, playing as El Gato Sombria, the original flip version of El Gato Sombria. This match goes to Crowd Meter 1. The winner at Crowd Meter 1, new LFF Global Champion, El Gato Shinobi. Congratulations to El Gato for becoming the new champion. And then the final tournament of Origins, the Sunday draft event. 10 players here, 2 groups, 5 players per group. They use grand packs for the draft here. Best record per group advances into the finals match. We have, from the first group, playing as Admiral Grumpy Thunder, Chris Pate. He won the first group. The second group winner, playing as Uncle Awesome, Mark Clayton. This match goes to Crowd Meter 3. The winner at Crowd Meter 3, winning the final draft event, Mark Clayton. Congratulations to Mark Clayton. He should have gotten a playmat, but unfortunately there was a mishap, and the playmat was not available. But he did receive a prize pack, and maybe he'll get a playmat in the future. That was it for the Origins events. Now, of course, there were other things going on in the world of Super Show outside of Origins, so let me go through those. I think I'll start with the 6th match in the LFF versus WWX round of the 2024 Create a Competitor competition. This match started a week ago Friday. Representing the LFF, we had Ron Rumble, Mr. Rumble. Representing WWX, we have a new competitor, someone that had not been part of the WWX team before, Charles Montgomery Covman. Here are the points I have for the match. These are unofficial. The official results will be announced on the next episode of Talk of the Universe. That's my understanding. Here's what I have unofficially. For Mr. Rumble, I have 112 points from Facebook, 21 points from Instagram, and 12 points from Twitter, for a total of 145 points. For Charles Montgomery Covman, I have from Facebook 37 points, from Instagram 67 points, from Twitter 1 point, for a total of 105 points. So, by my calculations, Ron Rumble will be moving on to the top 9, because apparently we're going to have 8 match winners, plus we have Rockstar Joey Sins. I'm not a fan of us going to a top 9. It makes the math harder. I don't know what the matches of the next round are going to be, and I don't know if we're going to get more people moving on. This makes it likely that we'll have some wild cards go on to the next round. We'll see, though. Right now, though, Mr. Rumble joins the top 9. Congratulations to Mr. Rumble. Unofficially, we'll have to see. Maybe they'll say he tested for some positive substance. Maybe he had fake votes. Maybe Steve will come up with some other cockamamie rule as to why Mr. Rumble doesn't get it, or Charles Montgomery Caveman gets to move on. We'll find out. Right now, though, I am saying, based on my calculations, Mr. Rumble won the match. The general manager of the six-stop division and the general manager of the tag team division, the Judge Tim Riley and Candy Ma'am, respectively, have announced they will be holding a six-stop tag team tournament starting sometime after Origins, I would say fairly soon. Each member of the team can have no more than 6 stop cards in their deck. In addition, any cards that are anti-tag team are booked. They cannot be used. So anything that prevents double teaming, saving, protecting, all of those cannot be used in this tournament. Those are the two big stories I have outside of Origins. Let's talk about the other online tournaments and featured matches from this past week. I'll start Monday with Monday Night Fights. This was a Tornado Tag Team Tournament. 8 players, group stages, 2 groups, 4 players per group. Top 2 records advance to the top cut. In 4th place, playing as Rise, Zach Ashley. In 3rd place, playing as Final Form Dick Thunderlips, Commissioner Drew Madsen. In 2nd place, playing as Swaggy D himself. And the winner Monday night, playing as the Wait For It's, Brian Wait For It Schmidt. Congratulations to Brian Wait For It Schmidt for winning Monday night. Tuesday, after Dojo, we have the Deep South Tag Team Championship. The challengers, Trey Cantrell playing as Sheep of the Era, and Possum Kang playing as Chloe Mai. The champions, the Late Fee Express, Practicite playing as himself, the Grim Librarian playing as himself. This match goes to Crowd Meter 3. The winning team, new champions, Cantrell. Congratulations to Cantrell for becoming the new champions. Their first defense will be at Southern Fried Gaming Expo against the tag team of Chugonomics and Aaron64. Thursday, we had Chibi's Thursday Night Fights. This was an open division tournament. 9 players, 1 group of 5 players, 1 group of 4. Top 2 players per group advance to the top cut. Psycho Circus stipulation is used in the semifinal round. The finals match is a Ring of Fire match. Your semifinalists are Ken Fouché as Uncle Bradley and Alec Ventresca as Rob Van Dam. The finalists were Brian Wait For It Schmidt as new competitor, the Consigliere, and Coach Brad as Sabu, with the winner, Coach Brad. Congratulations to Coach Brad for winning Chibi's Thursday Night Fights. Honorable mention, Brian Wait For It Schmidt for making 2 finals this week. One thing I forgot to mention earlier, I'll mention it here. The Play True Championship, which I believe currently is held by Ant West, which was also the 24/7 Championship at Origins this past weekend. I'm assuming they're going to be shipping the belt to Ant West after this. But they announced the first 2 contenders for Ant West as champion. The first contender, chosen randomly, will be Citizen X. Citizen X gets the first crack at the championship. The winner of that match, their next contender, will be Mr. Rumble. So congratulations to those 2 men for being chosen for shots at the Play True Championship. Back to the online tournaments and featured matches. Friday, the LFF Hardcore Championship put on the line. The challenger, John Polverino, playing as Dick Thunderlips. I think he got this shot for being on the Faction Wars team that won. The champion, Possum Kang, with the Professor Matt Smith. They face off in a steel chain match that goes to Crowd Meter 2. The winner at Crowd Meter 2, still champion, Possum Kang. Congratulations to Possum Kang for a successful defense. Later that night on Candy Shop Talk, twitch.tv/Big Picture Premium, I believe, is where they're currently hosting Candy Shop Talk. They have the following matches. First, the American Interstellar Hardcore 23/7 Championship on the line as challenger Tartan Terror, playing as Johnny Gargano, takes on champion the Wolf Guardian, playing as Quadruple H, in a steel cage match. This match does not go past crowd meter 0. The winner, escaping the cage via special finish, still champion, the Wolf Guardian. Congratulations to the Wolf Guardian for a successful defense. After this, the Wolf Guardian joins his Skyriders tag team partner, the Nightmare King, as the Skyriders take on the tag team of Rowdy Ron and Press 1P, John Polverino. Rowdy Ron and Split were originally supposed to be in the match, but Split went to Origins, so Press 1P stepped in for him. John Polverino played as Ricky Riot in the match. Rowdy Ron played as Runtime Terror. The Wolf Guardian was the Witch Hunter General. The Nightmare King was Piglet. This was a long, hard-fought match. It went all the way to crowd meter 6. The winners of the match at crowd meter 6, Rowdy Ron and Press 1P. Congratulations to them for winning that match. I don't know if that's going to lead to anything. I think that was just an exhibition match. But congratulations to them for winning that match. There is no Sunday night fights this week because of Origins Game Fair. There was a somewhat big tournament for ACCW, their locals. There were a number of their local championships defended. For those results, I would suggest checking out Talk of the Universe. They should have them there. I don't have all of them. I'm trying to get the show out in a timely fashion, and unfortunately, I just won't be able to do that and cover everything. There was a match that had implications for the entire LFF, so I'm going to cover that. The LFF Triad Championship was defended at the ACCW event. Challengers, Mr. Rumble, playing as Adriana D, Queen of Cheer, and the LFF Chiropractor, playing as the Phoenix Evie Fresh, challenged champion Trey Cantrell, the champion with Grinch Pit. In a match that did not go past crowd meter 0, Grinch Pit at crowd meter 0 hits the snake bite against Mr. Rumble, rolls a 7, but that ended up being enough. Even with save rolls from the LFF Chiropractor, Mr. Rumble unable to break out, and so Trey Cantrell successfully defends the LFF Triad Championship. Congratulations to Trey Cantrell for a successful defense. As far as tournaments coming up for next week, there is only one currently listed on SuperShowTheGame.com. The next Monday Night Fights for June 24th will be a hardcore division event. You have to use competitors from the hardcore division. There will be stipulations in the top cut. The quarterfinal round stipulation is tables. The semifinal round stipulation is ladders. The finals match will be a steel chain match. It's a $5 entry fee for this tournament. It will start at 8 p.m. Eastern. The Zoom room will open up at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. It will be played on Zoom. You will have to send Brian Wait For It Schmidt, your competitor, before you can join the Zoom. Again, that's all that's currently listed, but I expect there will be a tournament Thursday. I expect SRG Universe to host the dojo on Tuesday night, twitch.tv/SRG Universe. With that being said, that is going to do it for this week's episode of the Outlaw Mudcast. I would like to thank all of you for listening, and a good day.